Hello dear students, I am Chetan Singadia from Dr. Subhash Technical Campus. You are watching the video lecture for the subject of Database Management System. Today we are going to discuss relational data models, that is RD model in DBMS. So now let us discuss and talk about relational data model in DBMS. So now let us discuss what is relational data model in database management system. A relational model, or we can say RM model, represents a database as a collection of relations. What is that? A relational model represents the database as a collection of relations. We already know what is relation. We can call it relation as a nothing but our table also. A relation is a nothing but table of values, where every row in the table represent a collection of related data values, where these rows in the table denote a real world entity or relationship. So friend, this is what the definition of relational data model in DBMS. A table name and a column name are helpful to interpret the meaning of value in each row. So while creating a table, or we can say a relation, there are two important parameters, that is the name of the table and the column name. These are the very much helpful to interpret the meaning of the value in each row, or we can say tuple. The data are represented as a set of relations. In this relational model, the data are stored as a tables. However, the physical storage of the data is independent of the way the data are logically organized. So this is what another aspect of relational data model. What is that? The data is supposed to be stored independently, and they are logically organized in the form of relational data model. Now let us see what are some of the popular relational database management systems are there. For example, DB2 and Informix Dynamic Server, represented by IBM. Then we have Oracle IDB, which is developed by Oracle, and another one, that is SQL Server and Access by Microsoft. So these are the three examples. There are many more examples where we can give or context with the relational database management system in DBMS. Now, after understanding the definition of relational data model and the concept about how they are logically connected, we would like to see in this video lecture this many topics, that is relational model concepts, relational integrity constraints. Now constraint, we can call it as a set of rules in DBMS. Operations in the relational models, that means what are the types of operations we can perform in relational data model. There are a few best practices for creating a relational data model or a relational model. We would like to see the advantage and disadvantage of using relational data model in DBMS. So now let us start with the relational model concept. Now to understand to relational model concept, we would like to see this many terms that we can call the definition of this many things, the attributes, tables and tuples, or we can say row or tables, we can say relation, relational schema and degree. So let us discuss what is attribute. An attribute is each column in a table. What is attribute? An attribute is each column in a table. These attributes are the properties which are defined a relation. For example, student's roll number, name, these are the name of the attribute. And these attributes we already studied in our previous video lecture also. Let us define the tables. What is table? In the relational data model, the relations are saved in the table format, and it is stored along with its entities. A table has two properties called rows and column. Rows represents the records and column represents the attributes. So this is very simple definition to understand what is table. Here there are two properties in table. One is a row and column. What is row represent? The row represents the records and the column represents the attribute of that table. Now let us understand what is tuple, or we can say row. It is nothing but a single row of a table. What is that? Tuple is it? It is nothing but a single row of table which contains a single record, which is called a table. The next one is a relational schema. A relational schema represents the name of the relation with its attributes. What is relational schema? Let me explain once again. A relational schema, it is nothing but the name of a relation with its attributes, or we can say it represents the name of a table with its attributes. The next definition you would like to see, that is degree. What is degree? The total number of attributes which in the relation is called the degree of relation. Here we would like to see what is that. Degree means it is some kind of value. Now what is that degree? The total number of attributes. The number of attributes are available or are there in which relation, or we can say in table, that is called a degree of relation. So friends, this is a simple understanding of attributes, tables, tuple, relational schema and degree. And these are the concepts of relational data model, or we can say relational model in DBMS. The another important terms that we would like to see, these are the cardinality, column, relational instance, relational key and attribute domain. Let us see one by one. What is cardinality? The cardinality is nothing but the total number of rows which represents in a table or relation. What is cardinality? A total number of rows represents in a table or relation is called cardinality. What is column? Column represents the set of values for a specific attribute. Column represents the set of values for a specific attribute, which is nothing but a column in a relational data model. Then what is relational instance? Relational instance is a finite set of tuples in the RDBMS system. What is RDBMS? That is Relational Database Management System. This never have duplicates value. What is relational instance? Let me define once again. Relational instance is a finite set of tuples in RDBMS system. Now what is that finite set of tuples? Finite set of tuples means the number of tuples that we can have in the form of measurable. That means we can calculate, we can measure that how many number of tuples that we have in an RDBMS system. And the another thing in that relational instance is that they don't have the duplicate tuples in their relation. The next one is relational key. Every row has one or two or multiple attributes, which is called a relational key. Every row has one, two or multiple attribute, which is nothing but relational key. Then we have to understand the attribute domain. What is that attribute domain? Every attribute has some predefined values and scope, which is known as attribute domain. Every attribute has some predefined values and a scope, which is called or which is known as attribute domain. So friends, these are the simple understanding of cardinality, column, relational instance, relational keys and attribute domain. Now after understanding the theory part of relational data model, now let me explain this relational data model concept with the help of this example. Here you can see in this table there are three columns. One is a customer ID, customer name and status are given. Now we have to understand how they are actually related with relational data model. So here you can see that you can see this status column. There are three columns. These status columns, or we can say these three rows, row number 1, row number 2 and row number 3. This is called a tuple or a row. And what it represents? It represents the total number of row is called what? It is called cardinality, that we already understand in our theory part. So the total number of rows are there in a relation or in a table, which is called cardinality. Then we have to understand the degree. What is degree? So in that we have defined the total number of columns. So this is the column number 1, customer ID, column number 2, that is customer name, column number 3, that is status. So 1, 2 and 3, we can say 1, 2 and 3 columns are there. So it is nothing but a columns or attributes, and the total number of column is called, which is known as a degree. Then we have to understand this customer ID. What is that customer ID? Is our primary key. It is our primary key. And that domain that is domain always, for example, is not null. So it should not have such kind of different value than not null. Okay, then we already know that table is also called a relation. This table is also called a relation. So friends, this is what the relational model concept examples, where we have defined the cardinality that represents the total number of rows. We have also defined the degree that represents the total number of columns. We also defined the domain, then we also defined the primary key, and we already know that table is also known as a relation. Now if I would like to explain domain more, for example, here you can see that customer name, that you can see that it is a character type of variable. So the domain is character type of variable. So customer name, in that customer name row records, you cannot enter a numeric or integer value. So that is an actual example of domain. While if I am talking about this customer ID, so we know that customer ID is always an integer or a number. So we have to enter a number only. Here you cannot specify a name or a character type of variable. So this is once again a domain. So this is what a simple understanding of relational data model concepts, or we can say relational data model in DBMS. Now let us understand what is relational integrity constraints. The integrity constraints are set of rules. So that we already, I said to you that what is constraint, or we can say integrity constraint is what? It is a set of rules which is used to maintain the quality of information in our database, for our database. Integrity constraint ensures that the data insertion, that means whatever we are inserting the records in the table, updating and other processes have to perform in such a way that data integrity is not affected. So that is the main use of data integrity, or we can say integrity constraint. What is that? Whenever we are performing some operations like insertion, updating and other processes to be performed on a table, that the data integrity should not be affected. Thus, the integrity constraint is used to guard against the accidental damage or a loss of the database. So this may restrict the loss of or damage of the database. So this is what an integrity constraint. Now we have to see the types of integrity constraint in DBMS, or we can say in the relational data model. There are four types of integrity constraint. One is a domain integrity constraint, entity constraint, referential constraint, and key constraint. Once again, what are the four types of integrity constraint? One is a domain constraint, then entity integrity constraint, referential constraint, and key constraints. Now let us discuss these types of integrity constraints in detail. So now let us understand what is domain constraint in relational data model. Domain constraint can be defined as the definition of valid set of values for an attribute. Let me explain once again what is domain constraint. A domain constraint can be defined as the definition of valid set of values for an attribute. Now what is valid set of attributes? That means the data type of domain includes string, character, integer, time, date, accuracy, currency, and the value of the attribute must be available in the corresponding domain. So what they are saying in this example, here you can see in this example, in this table, we have taken 4 columns. One is a ID, another one is a name, then semester and age. We know that ID is always integer or a number. Name is always a varchar or a varchar2. Semester is always a number, and age is always an integer or a number. In this table here you can see in this age column, the last row age is represented with a. That means it consists a character value. So which is not allowed. Why? Because age is a integer type of value. So now let me show you the another aspect of this domain concept. What we have seen previously, it should define the valid set of values for an attribute. So here you can see a is not a valid set of values for an attribute age. So which is not allowed because age is a integer. And one more important thing, the data type domain includes these kind of data, and this value of the attribute must be available to the corresponding domain. So we can say age is a integer type of variable, so age should be a number. So it is not. In this example, this last row does not contain the corresponding domain value, so this is not allowed. So this is what a domain constraint in relational data model of database management system. Now let us understand what is entity integrity constraint. This is a very important concept as far as practical and theory is concerned. The entity integrity constraint states that primary key value cannot be null. What is that? An entity integrity constraint states that the primary key value cannot be null. Now primary key, that we already know what is primary key. When we want to uniquely identify the records from the table, in that case we are going to use this primary key. We can call it a key attributes or a prime attributes also. Now this is because the primary key value is used to identify the individual rows in the relation, and if the primary key has null value, then we cannot identify those rows or those tuples. A table can contain null value or other than the primary key field. Now here you can see in this example, we have taken the employee table where there are 3 columns are defined: employee ID, employee name and salary, and we have entered 4 records in that particular table. So what is our definition according to the entity integrity constraint? That means it does not contain primary key value cannot be null. That means here you can see employee ID is our primary key, and here there is no any key in this record which is associated with Jackson name, which is associated with Jackson name. So according to the entity integrity concept, this value should not be null, must not be null. So this is not allowed. As per the primary key cannot contain null values. When it contains null value, it's violate the rule of entity integrity constraint. So friends, this is what a simple understanding of entity integrity constraint. That means the primary key must not be null, and which is not allowed. So this is what entity integrity constraint in relational data model. Now let us understand what is a referential integrity constraint. A referential integrity constraint is specified between 2 tables. So this is most important. When we want to specify a referential integrity constraint, we have to have 2 tables first. We will see that how it is explained in form of example. In the referential integrity constraint, if a foreign key in table 1 refers to the primary key of table 2, then the every value of foreign key table 1 must be null or be available in table 2. Let me explain this example once again. In referential integrity constraint, if the foreign key of table 1 refers to the primary key of table 2, here you can see this is table 1, and this department number represents the foreign key, and which is refers to the primary key of table 2 primary key department number. Then every value of foreign key table 1, that means every value of this table must be a null or be available in table 2. That means whatever we are defining, that should be whatever we are defining here in table 1, that value is supposed to be available in this table too, or they may be not have they should have a null values. This is what they are saying. Now let me explain with the help of example. Here you can see there are two tables, table 1 and table 2. In table 1 we have taken 4 columns: employee name, name, age and department number. And table 2 we have taken two columns. One is a department number and location. Here this department number of table 1, which represents foreign key, in the same column name is in the table 2, that is primary key. Now here you can see there is a third record. You can see here that third record, 18 number in department number, where there is no such records are there in table 2. No such records are available in table 2. So what we have understand, whatever the records are there in table 1, it should be available in table 2 also. And if there are no records, then it should represent the null values, but which is not allowed, because D number 18 is not defined as primary key table of 2. That means 18 number record of primary key is not available in table 2. And in table 1, D number, that means department number, is a foreign key defined. So this is not allowed. These records are invalid according to the referential integrity constraint. So these things we have to keep in our mind while understanding the referential integrity constraint. So this is what referential integrity constraint in relational data model, and which is actually be specified between two tables with the help of foreign key and primary key concept. Now let us understand what is key constraint. Keys are the entity set that is used to identify an entity within its entity set uniquely. An entity set can have multiple keys, but out of which one key will be the primary key. The primary key can contain the unique or null values in the relational table. So let us understand this key constraint with the help of example. So we exactly get it to know how it can be defined. Here you can see in this table we have taken 4 columns. Once again, ID, name, semester and age. Now according to the definition, here you can see the key constraint, the primary key can contain a unique or a null values in the relational table. That means whether it should be a unique value, that means once the value comes, one number value will come, then should not be available on the second time in this particular table. But here you can see the ID number 1002 is there 2 times. That means that records are not unique and not null value also, whether it should be a unique or it should represent the null value. So which is not allowed, because all row must be a unique. All row must be a unique. So with the we can say how they are going to violate the rule of key constraint, because 2 times same records, same ID records are there. So which is not allowed according to the key constraint. So this is what the main concept of key constraint. So what it should be allowed, whether it should contain the unique value, unique records, or it should have, instead of this record, they should represent the null value. So this is what the key constraint. This is what the key constraint in relational data model of database management system. Now let us understand what are the operations in relational data model or a relational model. There are 4 basic update operations are performed on relational data models are insert, update, delete and select. Now what is insert? Insert is used to insert a data into a relation. Delete is used to delete the tuples from the table. Update or modify allows you to change the value of some attributes in existing tuples or a row. Select allows you to choose the specific range of data. So these are the simple 4 basic operations like insert, update or modify, delete and select. Now whenever one of these operations are applied, integrity constraints specified on the relational database schema that must never be violated. That means whenever we are going to use this kind of operation in relational data model, they are not supposed to violate the rule of integrity constraint, which we have already understand. Now let us understand what is insert operation. the insert operation gives the value of attribute for a new tuple which should be inserted into a relation or a table. Now here you can see we have taken in this example we have taken 3 columns, one called customer ID, customer name and status, and we have inserted 3 records. Initially there are 3 records. Now after inserting a value, we have inserted 4th record, and this customer ID is a primary key. That record is highlighted here with red marks. So this is how you can insert a new tuple or a new record into a relation. So before inserting, the table will look like this way, and after inserting the table will look like in this way. Before inserting, the table contain 3 records. Now after inserting, table contain 4 records. So this is what an insert operation in relational data model. Now next operations that we would like to see, that is update or modify. Now what is that? You can see that in this below given relational table, the customer name Apple, which is represented here in the customer ID 3 Apple, and status is inactive. We are going to update it from inactive to active state. What is our aim? Our aim is in this example. The customer ID 3 which contains the customer name Apple and status inactive. What we have to do? We have to update this status inactive to active. So after doing that thing, what we can do? We have to set the value of status set is equals to active in the record number 3. Now after doing that thing, after updating that thing, that value is supposed to be changed inactive to active, and this is highlighted here also. So before updating, the table will look like in this state. Now we have updated this 3rd record inactive to active state. So after updating or modify the attribute value like this way, so this is called an update operation of relational data model in database management system. Now let us understand what is delete operation. To specify a deletion, a condition on the attributes of the relation, select the tuple is to be deleted. Now we have these examples. There are 4 records are there in that 3 columns are defined in this table: customer ID, customer name and status. And after we have deleted the record number 3. After deleting, this table will look like in this form. So what we have done in the above example, the customer name Apple is deleted from that table. The delete operation could violate the referential integrity. If the tuple which is deleted is referenced by the foreign keys from the other table in the same database. So this is what a delete operation of a relational data model. Now at the last, there is a last operation, that is select operation, and which is very easy. What is that? There is an example that we have taken previously. What we have to do? We have to select the customer name is Amazon is selected. We want to retrieve the record where customer name is Amazon. So this is once we select the record as a customer name as a Amazon, then the output will be look like in this form. Whatever the records are available in our basic table, so out of that what we have selected, the customer name is Amazon. So that record is, once we select the customer name is equals to Amazon, then the record will be displayed of Amazon, which is associated with Amazon name only. So this is what an select operation of relational database from relational data model of database management system. Now let us see what are the best practices for creating a relational data model or relational model. What is that? The first thing is that we need data need to be represented as a collection of relations or a table. Each relation should be depicted clearly in the table. That means it should clearly identification should be there in table, like entity, attributes and so on. Third one is the row should contain data about the instances of an entity. Column must contain data about attributes of an entity. Cells of the table should hold a single value. Each column should be given a unique name. No two rows can be identical. the value of an attribute should be from the same domain. So these are the some of the best practices, or we can say few things we have to keep in our mind while creating a relational data model or relational model for any particular database. Now, let us see, after understanding the relational model, what are the disadvantages of there to use this relational data model. The first, the few relational databases have a limit on field length which cannot be exceeded. They have some of the limits. So this is one of the disadvantages. While defining anything, they have some limit. Another one is the relational databases can sometimes become more complex, or we can say complex, as the amount of data grows. That means amount of data more, and the relation between piece of data become more complicated. The third disadvantage is that the complex relational database system may lead to isolated database where the information cannot be shared from one system to another. So these are the disadvantages of relational data model while using RDBMS system for any particular project. So friends, this is what the relational data model in DBMS. Now let us see what we have covered in this video lecture in the summary form. The relational data model represents the database as a collection of relations. That means we have seen the definition of relational data model. We have also seen the definition of attributes, table, tuple, relational, schema, degree, cardinality, column, relation instance are some of the important components of relational data model. We have also seen the relational integrity constraint, 4 types of integrity constraint that we have seen: domain, key, referential, and so on. We have also seen the operations of a relational data model, that is nothing but insert operation, delete operation, modify or update operation, or a delete operation. Then we also seen the disadvantages. Then there are the few advantages like simplicity, structural independence, and ease of use are there, and also scalabilities are available to use this relational data model. There are few relational databases have a limit to fill the length which cannot be accessed, that we can understand in the form of the disadvantage of relational data model. So these are the simple summary. Now let me show you the main headings. Let me speak you main headings once again. That is what we have covered in this video lecture. In this video lecture we have covered what is relational data model, the definition of relational data models. Then we have seen the integrity constraint. We have seen the concept of relational data models. We have seen the operations of relational data model with the example. We have also seen the disadvantages and a few important concepts of relational data models. So dear students, this is what in relational data models. Thank you all.